Hey, what's up? It's Autumn, and this is just a thought. What's up? Welcome back. It's great to see you. Excited about today's guest. I'm excited about today's topic. Today's topic is fun, and I think it is relevant to everyone. It's very layered, and I'm excited to hear about my guest's perspective because it's also one of those things that it can go in many different directions. People have so many different opinions and perspectives about it that I think this is going to be good. So we'll see what side of the fence she's on some of these points that I have to bring up, but we'll get there in a minute. First, per usual, let me introduce her so that you know exactly who she is and why she is perfect for this conversation. Okay, so my guest today is Tonya Atkins, a dynamic leader and people connector. We love people connectors, and again, perfect for this conversation. With decades of experience spanning government, business, and nonprofits. As the director of ARPA funds for Newcastle County, she oversees $108 million in federal investments that strengthen communities, support small businesses, and fuel economic recovery. But for all that, though, she built inclusive workplace cultures within the county and helped people thrive together. Beyond her work accolades, she is a mom, a motivator, and a friend, a good friend who knows that real impact doesn't just come from policies or programs, it comes from people and the relationships that we build. That's why she is so perfect for today's conversation, where we are talking about friendship and what it really means. And so, Tonya, hi.
Oh my God, I'm so happy I made it.
You made it. Yes. We've been trying to get this thing together for a minute, but good things come to those who wait, and we've been waiting, and this is going to be a good one. I'm excited. Are you
I'm very
excited?
excited. I'm so excited. I'm so super excited. And you know it's gonna be good because we had to wait, right? And we had to come back to it. And when you have to come back to it, you're like, you know what?
This was
There's
perfect.
purpose in the delay. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It gave time to think, to marinate on it. How do you really feel about friendships, right? And there's so many different types of friendships, and we're going to talk about that. And that's why I'm like, this conversation is going to be like, I think I got some good questions that I'm excited to hear your perspective on. So we're going to dive right in.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So I think I'm going to start we're just going to start light.
Break the ice.
Yeah, and work our way into it a little bit. But I want to start with this idea surrounding best friends. Do you got a best friend? You have a best friend?
I have a best friend. I have
Okay.
multiple best friends.
Okay, good. So I'm glad that you said that. Okay, you have multiple best friends. So here's my question with that. Do you feel like when we give that title of best friend to certain people in our group or a certain person in our group that we are limiting our relationships with other people and really sort of putting like unrealistic expectations on that person who has that title of best friend? Does that make sense? Like, you know what I mean?
So are we limiting um from a perspective that we may have new best friends or that we are putting this pressure on the person to perform as a best friend? Because I think for me, right? For
Hmm.
me, my best friends, I have a few,
Okay.
but they all have different qualities. So, do I feel like I'm putting pressure on them? No, because I think that is natural, right? And so, by me calling you my best friend, that doesn't mean that you have to go above and beyond. Quite frankly, you already done that. And that's why
And
you're
that's
my
why you
best
in that
friend,
category.
because everybody doesn't make it to that.
Right,
I don't
right.
use it loosely. So, yeah.
So you clearly, because you have a couple, you feel like it's possible for more than one person to be a best friend. And I think that that's what you're saying is good, right? Like there's a lot of people only say like I have one, right? They're like I have one best friend and that's it. And so that's what I'm saying as far as that pressure that person has this title that they have to be like the creme de la creme of friends because they the best. But also, does that cut other people off who are also really good friends? But you just are saying you're not my best friend. So does that limit where
No,
those relationships can go?
I don't think it should, though, right? Because I don't think my friends should compete. I am
Mm.
not a prize.
I mean, Tanya, you are. So,
Okay, you know what? I am. Ah, but the fact of the matter is my friendship can't be bought. It has to be genuine, right? So,
mhm,
with that being said, if you're just competing with the next person to be my best friend, are you really my friend? Right? That goes really against what a friend is, right? Because a friend, I'm not earning anything, right? It's like love. I'm not earning, it's not transactional. You're my friend, and we're
right.
friends because we connect on a higher level. If you're my best friend, it's probably because we've experienced things together. All of
Yeah,
my best friends have been from different stages in my life. So it's not to say that I can't have a new best friend, right? I'm a new
right.
person. I'm growing. I'm at a new point in my life. And so do I have a new best friend? No. But, right, my best friends still have these qualities, and I feel like they show up in a way, and it's never competition because I have 3 and they don't compete with each other. They all
Okay.
know about each other, right? It's like maybe
Are they friends with each other or are they
they're
no?
associates.
Okay. Okay.
Right? We can be in
Yeah.
the same place. We can be, on the same vacation. We will go and support the other. And so are they
Okay.
best friends? No, they're my best friends, but we can
Right.
all get together and have a good time. So it's just not a competition. And I think when you start looking at any relationship, like I'm trying to win you, and granted, I am a prize, but the thing is, if you're trying to win me the way that I work, it's probably not going to work out.
Right. Right.
And when you do that, I think you diminish the authenticity in any relationship.
So I think it's good. Like I have 3 different best friends and they're really from different points of my life, right? And they're all very different. And they to your point, they serve very different roles in my life and none of them are friends with each other. 2 of them 2 of them know each other, but their friendship is like with me, not with each other. And then one doesn't know the other two, and like the other two don't, don't know her. So it's truly my friendship with you. Like with this ain't a group
This
thing.
is not a group thing.
This is
Agreed.
not a group thing.
This is not
Yeah, we not friendship stew up in here. It's not like we
no,
mixing.
it's not a soup. I agree with that. I agree with that. But they're cordial, right? But the connection is me.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're getting what you need from everybody, and it's truly about your friendship with them more so than like proximity or any of those other things.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that as I think more about it, the real dynamic thing is that one of my best friends has best friends. So I'm not necessarily her best friend. Is that weird?
Okay, wait a minute.
See,
So
adds a
you
whole nother level.
right. So she's your best friend, but you may not necessarily be her best friend.
And that's okay for me because
Girl, listen, I'm mad.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I want everybody to have what they need to thrive, right? And so does she am I maybe I'm one of her best friends, but, like, not
Yeah.
the top one. So, I think there are tiers to best friends.
Yeah.
I'm not the top best friend, and you have to be careful not to get mad over that, right? Like, me, I know
No,
well, that's
listen. You said something there, Tanya. Listen, first of all, clearly you're more evolved than I am. So let me just call that out. But I'm for real. Like, if I'm calling you my best friend, I expect you to be like, yeah, that's my best friend. And I don't, now you're making me sit and think and be like, what is going on with that?
so okay, so just to peel that back again a little bit further, yes, she will say that I'm her best friend, but
Yeah.
she has a best friend that I can clearly tell connects with you on a different level. Now,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just bring it back full circle, maybe that best friend gives her something that I don't give her, but I
Right.
don't know what I give her because I'm the giver,
Right. Okay. Right. Right. Right.
right?
Right. Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
But I'm okay
Interesting.
with it. Like, even if she would come to me and be like, "You my best friend, but that's, like, my true best friend," I
Yeah.
already know that, right? Like, I mean, not
Girl,
true.
I'm getting ready to send a couple text messages as soon as we get off this podcast and be like, who your best friends? Petty.
They gonna lie. They gonna lie. That's why you gotta know who you is.
Right? Right?
Gotta
And
know
it's
who you
like, girl, it
yeah.
ain't you. It ain't
Yeah,
you.
you just have to know and be okay with your place in someone's life.
That's true. That's
And
very
I
true.
think at the best friend stage, that can change depending where we are, right?
Yeah.
Proximity, what I'm going
True.
through, how you can
Yeah.
relate and support me at that time, that can change.
Yeah. So what is a best friend to you? Right? Like, so I know you talked about going through some things, but what does friendship and best friend, like what does that really mean to you?
Best friend is someone when the floods come rushing in, so do you.
Okay.
And then when the water recedes, you're okay with receding. But what you won't do is have that water, you won't keep bringing it up and throwing it in my
Yeah.
face, right?
Right, right,
I
right.
think that's one of the key things that stands out for
Mhm.
me for a best friend. It's like, one, you accept me as I am, which,
Right.
depending on the day, could be different.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean,
We
let's
change it
just
from
keep it
moment to
real.
moment.
From moment to moment, it could be different. And you're like,
Right.
okay, I
Going with it. Right.
still love her.
Right.
I'm not sure about the time. We have to be friends for at least 10 years. I mean,
Right.
my best friends, we've been friends for over 20 years, all of them. So, but I'm not sure if that's like really something that sticks out.
It's more the seasons.
The seasons and what we've
Yeah.
gone through, what we've been
Right,
through
right,
together.
right,
So, being able to, um, and allowing me to laugh at you, you laugh at me, and
right,
it's no hard feelings, like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like, we can laugh together, we can cry together, we can fumble the ball together, we can pick the ball up, we can have a touchdown together, and it's still we just there, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think, when I was talking about having other people in your life, that's the other thing about a best friend. For me, if I have other people in my life, you understand there's no competition.
yeah,
You are who you are. And so
right.
I think that, for me, my best friends know that. What else? A best friend for me is one who is going to clap for me, even if no one else is clapping.
Yeah,
Right. And so you'll clap out loud and you'll be like, girl, you did a good job. And then when we get home, you be like, I said you did a good job. And that's because I didn't want to really like, but here's
however,
where you could have tightened up. Right. So there, and I think in life you're going to have those moments, right? You're going to have moments where you knock it out of the park, and then you're going to have moments where you're like, "Ooh, I tried to hit it, but I didn't make it
yeah,
to first base." You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
your best friend is still like, "Yeah, you better go. You did that. Good job. Try again next time."
right,
And then
right,
I'm right there with you next time. So that's
yeah.
the best friend for me.
So it's interesting because and I'm saying that I think that it's, especially, like, even when you talk to, like, men about what friendship means to them and women and at different stages of your life, right? What does friendship mean to you when you 13 versus when you 40 versus when you 80? Um, and some people truly it's like their friends are just about like good times. Like I just need to, I have a significant other or I have family members that are there for like the deep stuff. I just want people to just hang around, be fun and kick it and whatever. So for me, friendship is really like family. Like, you know what I mean? When I call you my friend, when I call you my best friend, like best friend to me is like what some people would equate to like blood sister. You know what I mean? Like this is somebody that we are family. And so I think for myself, I probably, and this is just me being transparent and honest, whatever, probably can put a lot of pressure on people as far as that's concerned. Like what I have that expectation of what like friendship and best friend is because I take it so seriously. I'm like, if we friends. Don't come in here playing, you
Well,
know?
yeah, I think so for me, that's a given. Like, and I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
because I
It
haven't
ain't a given for everybody, Tonya.
it's a given for my best friends.
Okay,
Don't come in
fair
here
enough.
playing. Don't come in here playing because we've already been through that. And I guess that's
Right.
where the experience, and that are life experiences,
Yeah,
right? I don't know that I would call you my best friend if you have come in playing and not come back and said, you know what? I was playing.
I
I'm
was wrong.
sorry. And so that's the other thing about best friendship, right? When I'm wrong, I can admit it. I can admit. I
Mm,
can say, you know
mm.
what? I didn't do that right. I didn't handle that right. I'm sorry. That was like not cool.
That was
And
not it.
then, we move on. So, yes, yeah,
Have you been betrayed by a best friend?
I'm sure as a child.
Okay, listen, you winning.
But I don't have a bunch of best friends. I don't
Yeah,
call a bunch of people my best friends. So,
right.
Yeah, no, I can't say. I mean, have we gotten into it and disagreement?
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, not a betrayal where I'm
yeah,
just like, "Oh, you were my best friend," and
right. I'm like this singing Kelly Price. She was a friend of mine.
yeah, no, I don't give you don't it's not that easy to get into that role, which is a whole 'nother part of the friendship thing.
It's
It's
a whole
not
nother
really that
thing.
easy.
Facts. And I think that even to a lot of, I've had, because I've looked at it like that, I've had friendships that I have unfortunately been betrayed by, people that I thought like was really tight with. And in a lot of ways, it hurt worse than like breakups or like, you know what I mean? Different things like that. Like it was like, yo, this is deep. This wow.
Yeah, because you just put that level of expectation back to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
back to it's like, dang. But back to the expectation, I think as a best friend, it does come with a level of expectation. It
Mm,
does come with a level of responsibility.
right. Right. Yeah. No, it's good. So when you're thinking about your friendships and looking at the landscape of your life, so not just like best friends, just the types of people, the types of people that you have in your life. What are they adding to your life?
Ooh,
Like what are they?
joy.
Okay,
Add joy. Friends
right?
definitely add joy. Um, the types of people, some of them add stress. We try to keep them few and far between.
That's fair. That's fair.
So joy, experiences, I do think that when you have different people in your life, especially when they come from different life experiences, different economic situations, different backgrounds, different education levels. And so
Hmm.
when I can be with you and experience things from your lens,
Right.
that makes me a more experienced person.
Absolutely.
So then when I come, in a situation where either, you wherever you go, if you're above where you are or below where you are, don't act like you never been there, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think, one of the biggest things is the relationships in my life, they offer different perspectives on life.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate that, and
Yeah.
the older I get, the more I appreciate it, because
Yeah.
you recognize not many people can be in relationships with a broad range of people,
Right.
and that
Right.
to me is something that I feel very blessed to, have in my life, that it's not just this one streamlined type of person that I'm with.
Right.
I like people, and I like
Right.
connecting, and so just pulling things out of people, so, yeah.
That's good. That's good. I think if I had to think of a common theme, I would say everyone in my life challenges me, in different ways, right? Some people challenge me to relax. Some people challenge me to think and to grow. Some people challenge me to really, push and have fun. Some challenge me to dream. But I think that everyone is constantly sort of pushing me to be better. If I had to look at and think about friendships that I ended them because being with them made me feel stagnant.
Mm.
That was literally like, I can't do this anymore. Like being with you, I feel stuck. Every time I'm with you,
It's the same.
it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. You look the same. You got these same clothes on, the same hairstyle, you saying the same stuff, you talking to the same people, you going to the same places. Like,
So, to me, that says that they weren't growing.
right,
Yeah,
correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
then they weren't growing.
And they certainly couldn't challenge me to grow because they weren't. And
Right.
I just was like, and then I think even being around those kind of people, it almost made me feel bad about growing because you know what I mean? Like you're trying
Mm.
to talk to them about something and they're like, oh, well, what about this? So you go like, well, I don't want to be in here feeling like I'm bragging. I
Right.
don't want to be in here feeling like, you know what I mean? And I was like, bro, I can't even do this with you. This is so love them to death. We don't have no issues. Would do anything for them, even to this day. Just had to fall back. I was like, I can't do it. This is making me feel, yeah.
Well, that's something I was thinking about, just thinking about the friendship thing is the fact that just because I don't call you my friend doesn't mean you're
Mhm.
my enemy, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
We're
Absolutely. We don't
good.
gotta be mad at each other.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
good. We have,
People struggle with
we
that.
have just grown. We either grow together or we grow apart. And if we
Yeah.
grow apart, that's okay. It doesn't have to even be this whole big thing. It's just like
Yeah.
that was a season. And so that's the seasons change.
And we're
But
moving on
that
and I wish you
is
well.
one of the qualities of a best friend is even when the seasons change, our friendship remains the same, right?
Yeah.
That we
Yeah.
can kind of ride the waves of the seasons together and come back together when it's spring. I might be in hibernation when fall comes. Summer comes and I'm outside. So where we at? I'm outside. But I think that's important for a best friend is that we can ride the seasons with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that may mean falling back, pushing in. That may mean, a number of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Friendships, they absolutely are like can be such a blessing. And I think the other piece about this too is that you said something that I thought was really good when you talked about I try not to have those types of people around me, right? And I think that that is like key because it indicates that friendship is a choice. The type of people that you have in your life is truly a choice. So when people have nothing but like dramatic friends around them or people who are constantly, I don't know, asking you for money or sleeping with your man or whatever, like all this craziness, it's like
Drama.
drama, always needing something, always losing a job, always whatever. You do realize you have a choice. Like that doesn't have to be your friend. I think some people struggle to let stuff go because of history. Like
Yeah.
we've been friends since we was kids and well, she hasn't done anything to make me mad, so I can't like cut the friendship into the point about seasons. Yes, you absolutely can. If this is no longer serving you, it's okay to fall back and we're not enemies. I just don't want to do it.
But I think, that is incredibly true, but you have to be aware. Like one of the
Yeah.
things that I've really been, particularly this year, paying attention to is how do I feel when once we exit? Am I
That's
weighed down?
good, Tanya.
Am I what's my nervous system? Like, do you put me
Right.
in a space where I can't, where I feel anxious? I
Right.
don't want that, right? And so
Right.
when you begin to protect your peace, best friends are great, but my peace is better. And friends are great, but my peace is better. And so if I
Need
have
it.
to go make friends with these plants outside because they provide oxygen and they're not strangling me. I think that is an important thing that as you grow, you learn that I do have a choice who I allow in
Yeah.
my life, right? This is my show. This is my movie. So I get to tell you, okay, you may be allowed to watch it, but depending on where you are, where your seat is in the theater, you might be way
Right.
back there, can't hear you, can't
Listen,
see you, don't even care. Hey, how you
you are
doing?
not a main character. You are not a supporting character. You are in the back row.
In the back row and behave back there because the next thing is the door.
That part. That part. And it's so funny that you said that because that is so true. I went to lunch with somebody, wasn't even a friend, but it's just somebody went to lunch with. And this is gonna sound really crazy, but still she was talking so fast throughout the entire listen, I know you laugh, but I'm just saying for real.
You left like,
She
"Oh, I'm so
she was
exhausted."
talking so fast and she was moving around. She had like this energy about her that was real frantic and like spastic. And we were only together at lunch for maybe an hour. But yes, when I got done, I was exhausted. I felt on edge the entire time. I felt like I needed to rush through what I was saying because it felt like I was like, oh God, okay, we moving fast. Like, let me hurry and get through this. Let me and I got done with that. I said, I don't never want to go out with this girl again. Like this is what in the world? So you're right. How do I feel? My nervous, how do I feel after I leave you? That girl was like, I didn't feel no peace, no joy. I felt like I need a nap. I'm tired.
You're drained.
Yeah.
You need to be like people need to be aware of that, right? Because
Right.
that's how you prune.
Right. Right.
Because
Absolutely.
when it weighs you down, it's like I can't grow if every time I leave you, I feel like this, or every time we're in each other's presence, I have this heaviness about me. I mean,
Yeah.
is that, here's the thing, I can decide, is that how I want to feel? No. So if I
Right.
don't want to feel like that, we can't be friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can be associates. Hey, how you doing? But we can't be friends.
So now we're gonna go a little bit I wanna ask you about.
Uh, eh. No, go ahead. I'm ready.
Okay, let's say you got a best friend or you got a friend who is doing things, engaging in things, living a life that you don't necessarily agree with, but you love them. Like, you guys are ace and they're a good friend to you. You guys are great, right? It's just she's doing things with her life that you like, that's just really outside of who I am, how I rock, you know what I mean? How are you navigate are you how are you navigating that?
How am I navigating that?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think that's a great question. People deserve to know what, from your perspective, they're not doing right.
Yeah,
And so the first thing is like having a conversation, right? With love. So
yeah,
my sister always says, lead with love, lead with love. And so
yeah,
you lead with love as best you can do. It's not always going to be perfect, but I do
yeah,
think, if that were my best friend who was engaging in harmful behavior, because everything, here's the thing, it's your life. So if you're doing things that, and let's not even call it a best friend, because we probably wouldn't get to be best friends if you were doing things like that, unless
yeah,
it's like something that popped up and now, you have a habit or something like that, which is a little
yeah,
bit different. But if you're my friend and you're engaging in behavior that I think is harmful for you,
mhm,
but it has no impact on me, again, how do I feel when I leave you? Because adults are adults.
yeah,
And most times they understand when they're doing things that aren't positive. And
right,
so, yes, having a conversation, I think that's important. But then if you choose to continue with that, then how am I going to handle me? I can't
right,
change you.
right,
You
right,
change me. I
right,
can show up or not show up, right?
yeah,
I can choose for you to be in my space because I don't want to sound selfish, but you know, this is my life too. So I
right,
can't let your behavior impact my life or the well
right,
being of me. So if you're choosing to do things, and we've already talked about this, and you know that I disagree with it, or I don't think it's safe, or I think, you know, you could make better choices and maybe try handling it this way or try doing
right,
it that way. But if you choose not to take my advice, you have a right to
to
choose,
press on.
and then I got a right to press on. So
Yeah,
and I think, a lot of honestly, real talk, a lot of people are dealing with that, especially like initially when you said that, what popped into my head is like the substance abuse.
mm,
And, we see our friends and perhaps they are engaging in behavior that is not positive for them. It's
right,
hurting
right,
them. It's hurting the
right,
people around them. And so I think you also have to look at things from the lens of self-preservation. So I can't
yeah,
kill myself trying to save you.
that, that, that. Get out of the
That's
savior complex.
right. I cannot be super saver, you know who. That's not always how I've felt. That's not always
Yeah,
how I've
yeah,
responded.
yeah,
When you get beat when you get burned, just beat down so low and
yeah,
you realize I've been trying to save everybody and now I'm gasping for air.
right, right.
So at some
That
point
ain't gonna
it's
work.
like, "Sis, I love you. I love you real, real bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and step over here, and when you're ready, let's come back."
That part. Yeah,
I'm not gonna just exit you out. I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, we can't be friends no more. I hate you, this,
yeah,
that, and the third."
right,
You're going through
right,
something, and I think that's what makes friendship. It's like, okay, you may go through something, and I may try to help you, and I will, be there as much as I can, but when it gets to a point where I can no longer do anything and it's taking a toll on me, now I have to make a choice as to how am I gonna respond to this?
right, right, right. And I think so that's good. I've had and it's a tough situation, and I think to your point, people find themselves in this more often than not, and it's about a lot of things, right? It could be things about the different types of relationships that your friends have. It could be substance abuse. It could be how they raising their kids. It could be the things that they believe in. It could be like there's so many things, and I have had where, like, for me, it was just, it's either you're putting me in an uncomfortable situation, right? You're doing things that are now running over in a direction that I am here present and I don't feel good about anything that's happening right now. So this ain't gonna work. Um, or I am watching you do things to yourself and to others that is not good. I don't believe in whatever. And I know is better for you. This is not me sitting here being judgmental, like you just because you live in a different lifestyle than me or anything like that. But truly, like, man, um, and it's one thing if you're like, I know I'm doing this thing or I know I'm in this space and I don't want to be and I'm trying to get out and whatever, I'm rocking with you all day long. You comfortable? You like, "Psh, this water feels amazing." Then I gotta leave you to it, sis. I can't do it. I can't rock with you. I'm be like, okay, well, listen, catch me when you dry off.
When you dry, right.
Right. When you come in the house, let me know and I'll be here. And some friends have never called me back. Like they just were like, this is it for me. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool too. And it was really heartbreaking.
It's not to say that it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. So when you care about something or someone, when there is that change, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most change doesn't feel good, right?
Right.
But that
Right.
doesn't mean on the other side of things that it wasn't the right move, right?
Decision. Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think about, when what happens when you hold on? And I
Right.
just keep holding on and holding
No.
on. That doesn't feel good either. And so now you're just being drug through the dirt because you decided to hold on. So I
Right.
courage, in friendships is important because I have to have courage to step away when it's no longer serving you or it's no longer serving me. And so there are times where my friendship is no longer serving you. And so what do I need to do? I need to step away. And I think, when you go into things, and I could be a little biased because I've said a lot of highs and a lot of goodbyes. So when it's
Okay.
time to say goodbye, like it just may be time to maybe it's time to say see you later. And if I
Mhm.
see you later, I see you later. It could be 30 years and we come back together. And I'm
Some
just saying,
sometimes that
happens and you never know. So I think it does hurt though. It does hurt and there is a healing and it's grief, right? So grief is tricky. Grief could pop back up. You might see that person and you're like, "Oh gosh," and now here you are grieving the friendship all over.
all
I
over
think
again.
that
Right.
grief
Right.
and friendship and change, it hurts. It doesn't because you care deeply about this person.
It's love. It's love.
It's love.
That's so good. Keisha in the last episode was talking about that and just navigating grief, and she really gave a really beautiful explanation to that. To just be like, anytime that you have to let go of something that you loved, whether it was an idea, a person, a thing, a place, an opportunity, whatever it is, you have to grieve, right? It's the letting go process. And so we're all like experiencing that. And yeah, friendship, it sometimes it's worse when the person is still alive. When people die, you get it and you understand why they're gone.
Because it's
When
the end.
it's the end, it's not their fault. It's just it is what it is. But when people are walking around outside, you like, why can't we make this work? I mean, that's rough. That sometimes that can be rough. Okay, look. Okay. So this is what I really wanted to get to. I didn't start off this way. I wanted to lull you into a false sense of security. No, I'm just playing. This is what I really wanted to get into though, for real. So you have male friends and female friends? Because up to this point, I'm assuming we've been talking about female friends this entire time.
No.
Am I
No, I
No.
have yeah, yeah, no. So see, you know what assumptions do?
Listen, well tell me something. So you got a male best friend?
I do. I have
Okay.
a male best friend.
Is he single? What? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, he's not single. Single is in, but he's not married.
He's not married.
Okay.
No, he's not married.
The way you looking up at the sky, this feels like this complicated. Like he
Well, because I think you're making assumptions,
No, I'm asking. I'm trying to
right?
get to the I'm trying to get
Yeah.
to the meat of it.
Go ahead. Ask. Go ahead. Go in. Just go in.
Okay. So This is now I'm not talking about a situationship or nothing like that, right? With you. I'm saying him, separate and apart. Is he separate and apart from Tanya? Is he married, in a relationship, anything like that? Or is he single, single, single? Like,
No, no, no.
okay,
Long-term best friend. Long-term best friend has been, in relationships, out of relationships.
okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's single and apart, and
So when he is in a relationship, does the dynamics of your friendship change? Or y'all the same whether he's in a relationship or not?
I'll take it just being brought just off of him and just to friends. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
does.
Okay. Which I think is appropriate. So here's my question. This is what I'm asking. This is my question is, do you believe that men and women can be just friends without let me give the caveat. Listen, before you let me give it the parameters. Okay. That they could be just friends without either one of them being attracted or desiring the other at any point. Let's start with that. Do you think that that's possible? That a man and woman can be just friends and never at any point one or the other or both desire to be more than that with the other one?
Think that it's hard. I think of just humans, right? I could be attracted to anyone. So I think, from a broader perspective, can humans, especially when lots of things are very fluid now,
Mhm.
can a man and a woman be friends without ever being attracted? Sure. If neither one of them is each other's cup of tea, sure. I do think that
Okay.
at some point, though, you're like, not sexually attracted, but like, "Ooh, my friend looks good." Is that a
Okay.
thing? Can we do, or that's not a thing? So do I think that if we had 2 heterosexuals, like, let's really get to the
Right.
nitty-gritty.
Mhm.
2 heterosexuals,
Yep.
male and a female,
Right.
could they be friends
Mhm.
without either of them ever being attracted to each other? That is too much pressure.
Thank you, jeez. Come on. Come on.
That's too much pressure because
Come
I
on.
think that if you are my friend, most likely there's going to be something that I'm drawn to.
Correct.
I
Correct.
think as adults and responsible people, we have to draw the line. You're my friend, right? And so then it's my responsibility. When I start to feel like that little tug, I gotta remove myself from the situation. I may have to fall back a little bit.
Right.
I think people have to have more self-control. I think it's absolutely absurd to ask someone not to ever be attracted, not to
Mhm.
ever,
Mhm.
think that something is attractive or this person has a, like, if I say that, most likely I'm lying.
No, you are. She said most likely.
So you're just like a nun and you don't want, you just like, I don't even look
Even if
at
you were
people.
none. Even if you were none.
Even if you're a nun, like, it just, I mean, I think we have to be realistic. I'm just keeping it
Yeah.
all the way 100. You gotta
Yeah.
be realistic. If
See,
there's a
okay.
male, go ahead,
No, go ahead.
before I go too far. No, because,
So
like, I
so
know I look good.
you do. Look, that's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. So I feel like I am in agreement. I do not think that it is possible for a heterosexual man and a heterosexual woman to be just friends. And let me be clear, when I say friends, I don't mean associates. Like we see each other casually, be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm talking about we friends. Like we hang out, we talk, we text, we be joking, kiki, laugh it up, whatever, all the things. I think it's impossible for us to be friends and not at one point or another for one or the other to be attracted to each other. And that if the stuff was just right, the lighting, the mood, the this, the that we could fall into something. So I say that because um and partly because I think your hormones are geared towards mating. Like they're geared towards trying to, you know what I mean, get together and figure it out. So if you're putting yourself in a situation where you're constantly around it and you enjoy each other's company and y'all trust each other and you know what I mean, all this stuff, girl, all that starts to add up. And the next thing you know, so I say all that to say, um, if I'm with you or if I'm in a relationship, the whole male friends relationship or the whole female friends relationship, all that gotta, we
See,
gotta
I don't
bag that.
agree with that though. I don't agree with that because I mean,
Mm. They got, girl, listen, bye.
that seems so unfair though.
Why?
Because but you asked the question that had 2 parts for me.
Okay,
You
I'm
asked the
listening.
question, could you be friends and be attracted?
Yeah.
And then it was to basically act on it, right? So I
Mhm.
think that I can have male friends like that would be so heartbreaking if my male friend got into a relationship and now we can't be friends anymore because I'm attracted, you're attracted. We're not sexually.
Girl, no. Imma
We're
tell you right now, let my dude be like me and Tonya. You and Tonya nothing. No, you don't. Tonya,
Okay, I don't know. So that I don't know. I get it. And it's hard. Like that thing that to deal with that as any part of the mate is hard, right? So I think
yeah,
it's the mate's responsibility to make the partner comfortable with it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you become uncomfortable, let's talk through it, right?
yeah,
If we can't talk through it, there's probably something to it.
yeah.
And that
And I
rhyme,
think,
that was so
like,
good.
so look, let me be clear. This doesn't mean that when he see you in the street, he can't say, "What's up, Tonya?" Right? Like, I'm not saying that you dead to him. I'm saying all this y'all kikiing and you got jokes and y'all hanging out and talking, girl, bye. Absolutely not. I'd be
What
like,
if you come with
Tonya,
us?
huh?
What if you're with us?
N if then I feel like that dynamic changes. If you are now my friend, right? Or if we're couples and we all hanging, then there's that. But you are friends with me because you really friends with him, like me and you sharing him. And I don't mean
No,
share, and I
no.
don't mean sharing like legit, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our only connection is that he's in the middle of us. He's not in the middle of no, when I tell you the answer is
Hell no.
hell, hell to the no, 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 no. Like it's never gonna happen. But I do the same thing on the flip side of that, right? And I just feel like, again, I'm not cutting people off like you're dead to me, don't talk to me, whatever. But I'm saying that level of closeness that we've had, all of that backs up. And I've done that where when my male friends have gotten with women, I have automatically stepped back. Like out of
But then that becomes, oh, so when you break up, oh, so I'm your bounce back friend. I'm your friend that's only there for you to when you going through it. Like I can't. You mean to tell me you can't invite me to your baby showers? I can't see the kids
you
graduate.
could do that casually.
Yeah, no, I'm opposed to that. I have had male friends. I have had male friends who started off single, began dating. Female did have an issue with it, but then when you meet me and you realize like it's also a part of my friend's responsibility too.
Yeah.
If my mate is threatened by you, why is that? Right? Because again, you're not my possession. As a
Right.
friend,
Right.
you should never give me what you give your partner.
Right.
That's
But I
just
look,
basic math.
we also live in a world where it's wild outside. And everybody don't know what everybody is doing, boundaries, values, all the stuff, right? So somebody can be coming to me and saying, "Hey, I would never. That's not how I rock. I don't do that. I would never cross that line." I don't know that to be true or not to be true. So my thing is, out of protection of my investment, protection of my home, my boundary. Listen, because it is an investment. I'm investing in him, this relationship, all of the stuff. Out of protection of my investment, I feel like I would be ridiculous to leave the gate open for any and everything to walk in here and me to trust you on your word that you're gonna act right. I need to put safeguards up to ensure that you do. And part of that is creating some distance and some space because both of y'all, and it's not anything bad, both of y'all are this is a man, you a woman. He enjoys your company, you enjoy his company. Y'all got laugh, you're comfortable, all this stuff. All it needs is for the lighting to be right. I done made this dude mad. He out with you. You looking at him like, he looking real cute now that he in a relationship with somebody else. Next thing you know, y'all done leaned over and it's like, oops, it just happened. That's how the just happens happen.
Think just happens are going to happen if you are open to just happening. Okay. So that's my thing. It's like everything that you name, all true, all could happen. It could all happen. That could happen when you have your gate closed, though. That could happen when I keep you in my house and I got to keep my eyes on you. Next thing you know, you sneaking out, you at work, you doing this, you doing that. My thing is like, and, we have moved from friendship to relationship. So, right? I just think if I have to have that much of a grip, tight of a grip on you, I'm probably not comfortable. I don't trust you anyway. And maybe I don't trust myself, right? That's just me. I am at the point where it's like if you can't make good decisions, integrity is more about what you do when I'm not there than
Yeah.
what you do when I am there.
Yeah.
And so my thing is if you're keeping someone that close and you're in that space, like in my opinion, if I'm that person, right? We didn't got into an argument, you didn't made me mad. We went to this, I'm at this bar now, I'm having a little cocktail, little Cosmo, light and color. Homeboy is sitting next to me, smelling good, looking good, just got a hold, all these things. When I start to
Listen,
feel it heating up, get up and leave. That's my responsibility.
you should. You absolutely should.
So then you can't blame that woman for being your mate's friend because that's his job. But what
This
I'm saying is,
this
so
isn't
now she can't. So if I can't trust you to be friends, because the other thing that I want to mention before it leaves
well,
my
listen,
thought,
look, I trust you to be human.
well, humans going human all the time.
That
Whether
part.
I'm in the gate,
Exactly.
outside the gate, I'm still gonna human.
You
But
still
the other thing that I'm saying is, okay, we saying a male and a female.
mhm,
You could have a male friend, the same scenario happens, and the same curiosity peaks, and here we are. So then a friend is a friend. That's why I'm saying, like, the onus and the responsibility has to be on that person with those boundaries. Like, I know if someone's attracted to me.
right,
I
exactly.
shouldn't have that person close enough then because now you're playing in my face because you knew that he, she, or they could stir up,
Right,
right? Or you
right.
might stir up because you know how you feel. Most times you know how somebody feels. It's not like it just all of a sudden it just pops up. No, typically that's not how it happens, right? There's been a situation where you're like, oh, you looked at me different. That's not the friendly look that I'm used to. So I do understand where you're coming from, but I think when I've been in those situations, especially when I've been pushed off, it's like, well, darn, you know what I mean? Like I'm presenting that way. If you like me, most likely I'm going to back off because you
Yeah,
have someone, right? So
right.
again, these are decisions that have to be made. But I feel like when you hold on to things so tight, and this
Mhm.
is just me, when I have held on to things so tight, it's almost like I crush it.
Absolutely, yeah. And
So
I agree with you. So I'm not I don't believe in like, I'm not the type of person that's, checking phones or you know what I mean? I don't that's too much. That's ridiculous. But what I'm saying is, um, we are all human and we are all capable of doing human things, even when we don't want to, right? And so a part of, I think, if I go into a situation, where I you know, either of us, we're like, we don't want to do something that we, don't shouldn't be doing, right? This is my friend. It was my friend, like whatever. There's a level of comfort, there's a level of attraction here, all of that stuff. And I don't want to turn it because I don't want to jeopardize anything that's going on between me and you. Okay. But I recognize that I am human and I recognize this my friend, but he's funny, he's engaging. Listen, he's successful, he's attractive, he doing all the things, he smelled good, he knows me, all of that, right? Don't want to put myself in a situation where because at some point in this relationship, you gonna be looking dusty to me. At some point in this relationship, I'm gonna be like this. like, oh my God, he getting on my nerves. And then I look over here and here's my friend, like, girl, come on, let's go get some whatever. Putting me in a situation to be tempted. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna ultimately fall for it, but it's putting me in a situation of temptation. And so my thing is, why put myself in a scenario to have to say no to something versus let me just put boundaries up where that never really becomes a thing. That never really becomes, and the easiest way for me to do that is for us not to be hanging as tight and as me and you and we doing all now. If we're never in that situation, I never have to worry about the lighting being right. I never have to worry about you smelling good. I never have to worry about any of those things because I've already created space and distance between us. And in a lot of ways, I think that's preserving the friendship, right? Like by taking that step back, I'm actually preserving it and allowing us to be able to continue in a way that keeps us from ever crossing a line and keeping my significant other respected, comfortable, you know what I mean? All of those different things. So I'm not so I just want to double back and say I'm not saying that it's like you're dead to me, like you can never speak to this person again. Like, you know what I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying friendship, right? Like we are legit hanging out. Girl, Tonya who? He come to me talking about I'm going to Tanya with Tanya. You going with Tanya where? No, you're not.
Well, I guess I'll be like, "Dag, so you can't come out tonight, right? You can't get your pass." Like, "Okay, all right, I guess I'll see you when you guys break up." I mean, you know, like, because but what I did hear you say is when you went through that scenario is that, you're making the choice. Your mate is not saying you can't. Like, if
Mhm.
yes, I don't think everybody is I don't know. I just think that you should be able to make choices for yourself as a human adult. Probably gone through some things, right? And so, yes, if you have a relationship, a friendship where maybe we're probably too close to that line, or you know what I mean? Like there's already been a seed planted. Of
Right,
course, you should push that friend back because that friend is way too close to that thin line that says,
right.
okay, we were friends, but now we friends with benefits
At any given moment.
at any given moment. So yes, so I guess, for me to just wrap it up is I would be heartbroken, not heartbroken. I would be sad if there was a male friend. Oh, there's naturally space going to be created because again, this person, you shouldn't be hanging out with me every weekend if you got a girlfriend. What you hanging out with me for? So, I'm going to look at you sideways. So I just think if I have a male friend
Mhm.
and he has a significant other. If she says, "You can't go out with Tanya ever,"
Yeah.
be like, "This just crazy." But go ahead, do you.
Do
That's
you
what I'm
girl?
gonna
Do
say.
you?
See you on the flip side. You gonna come back to me like, "Tanya, you ain't gonna believe it." No, I tried to tell you.
He said, "No, I do believe it. I do. I do believe it." Yeah, and I think today, everybody's is you were right. Everybody's basing stuff off of experiences, and I've had too many experiences where this was my friend,
Mhm.
and your friend turned out to be not
Your
just
lover.
a friend. Right? Listen,
Yeah,
all of the things,
yeah.
and so I have seen that reel before. I'm not playing these games. I don't want to do it. And I just think that it's truly, truly a battle against biology. And we don't need to battle biology.
From the scientist.
Yeah, listen, we don't need to battle biology. I know what your hormones is doing, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It just is what it is. And we need to acknowledge it so we can do better. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can know that our hormones perk up. So you know what? When you start to feel that hormone perking up, it's time to percolate out the building, okay? It's time for you to
What?
go.
Time
It's
for the
time for the
percolator.
percolator.
Time
Gonna
for
go
the percolator. Listen, that's a good point. On that note,
that way. Go on, go that way. That's all. That's it and that's all.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you 2 questions before we wrap up. The one question is that I ask everybody, but I want to ask you this last question is what kind of before I ask you my last question, what kind of friend do you think that you are?
Like, um, geez. I'm a loyal friend.
Okay.
I'm a loyal friend. I do feel like I am a friend who's still learning how to be a good friend.
That's good. That's good. What you mean by that though?
I mean by that is that a lot of my life has been on the move
Okay.
where um my formative years,
Mhm.
okay? So I went to 8 different schools between 1st and 8th grade.
Okay.
So my friendships were like, "Hey, see ya.
Right.
I'll see you when
Right.
you come back," right? And
Right.
so I often say that I'm really good at hellos and I'm really good at goodbyes, but it's that in between that's
Mm.
tough for me.
That's good. Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel challenged by, am I being enough for this friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have a lot of things on my plate, so my best friends understand that and they give me grace, and I do think that, I give grace as well, but my friends give me grace.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm a great friend. Like, you can call
Yeah.
me if you call and you like, "Tanya, we got to ride," or "Tanya, I got this problem," or "Tanya, I'm going to try to problem solve. I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to show up for you when you need me." Like, I'm going to do all the things, but it's when we're not in those like big peak moments.
Right. Right.
Am I remembering that you have an interview? Am I
Right.
remembering that,
Right.
this is a day that's really special because your first dog that you love so much died?
Yes.
Am I remembering just those little things that make life so much sweeter?
Right.
I
Right.
want to be like, I'm working better to be that friend.
That's
Like,
so
I
good.
want to bring you joy.
Yeah.
Not just when we're out or when we're at a concert or when we're traveling. Like, I wanna send you something because, "Hey, I remembered that you loved sunflowers, and I just rode past this big sunflower, and I thought about you."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so am I a good friend? Yes. Do I have work? Yes.
We all do.
We all do,
Yeah.
right? And I think, I'm a real friend. Like, I'm tapped into reality. I just had a conversation with one of my friends yesterday or last night, not a best friend, just a friend.
Yeah.
And I said, we were talking about a situation where she really hurt my feelings.
Mm.
And I'm like, you know, you hurt my feelings when you said that, but that prompted me to go a little deeper with myself. First of all, ask, why did that hurt? Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Why did that hurt?
Right.
Maybe there was a little truth to it.
Right.
There was
Right.
a little truth to it. How are we going to deal with that?
Right.
And so I may not have appreciated the way you presented that to me, but a friend wouldn't have let me go on without letting me know that, hey, I
Right.
noticed this, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so we're having a conversation and we never talked about it. And we were having a conversation last night. And she was like, I knew you were mad at me. I was like, I was. Girl, I was mad. I had to take a step back for a couple weeks. She was like, yeah, I know, because when I saw you the next time I asked you how you was doing, you said fine and turned away. I think that's what a friendship is all about. Is like we can take our space, we can gather our thoughts, and then we
Yeah.
come back. And it's like, okay, I may not talk to you right then, but
Yeah.
at some point this is gonna come up and I'm gonna let you know how it made me feel. But the fact is, like, I'm the friend that, we could go through some things. And if you're really my friend, I'm not gonna hold it over your head
Right.
forever.
Right. Right.
It's like, man, that was messed up.
Shouldn't have said that, but I did.
I think, I'm a friend. I'm a friend. I'm a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. That's so good, Tanya. And I think that I love hearing people's perspectives on different things and really because it makes me challenge and look at myself and how I'm showing up and I think that that's so true and that is so good because I think there's a level of curiosity that you must have about the people in your life. If you're constantly trying to figure out how to show up for them, then you're constantly studying them and getting to know them and figuring it out. And don't isn't that what we all want? Like we all want people to be curious about us, to like truly know us. So that's beautiful. I love that. That's good. That's good. Okay, Tanya. Okay, Tanya. Okay, listen. My final question that I ask everybody: what is the one piece of life-changing advice that you have ever been given? The most life-changing advice.
Most life-changing
Mhm.
advice. Most impactful, I just
Okay.
is when people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
If only.
Believe them the first time.
Right. If only. That's
First
a
time.
struggle.
It is a huge struggle. It is a but people show you who they are, but
Mhm.
we as humans have a tendency to view you as who I want you to be.
That girl,
And then you get hurt and your feelings is hurt and you're crying in your beer and you
and
can't
you mad
figure
at
out how
them,
you got here
and you mad at them, and you
and you
like,
mad at them.
you mad at yourself.
But you knew that.
You knew that. They
And
being
so
exactly who they said they was gonna
they
be.
are exactly who they said they were going to be. So, yeah.
That's rough. That goes all the way back to circles back all to the very beginning when you said you're not a savior. You cannot be a savior. We want to be saviors so bad. We
And we're
think we can
not.
change somebody, girl.
And we're not. And we're not. And you're not. I don't care how powerful, how beautiful, how smart, how intelligent, how all the things you are.
Mm,
You can't change a person. A person can change themselves,
right,
but you can't change that person.
right.
And so, um, when said person said that, I'm like, it doesn't automatically click, but then you realize, especially when you get out of situations, be it friendships, relationships, jobs, or, processes, it's like, dang, I knew that from the beginning. I remember when the red flag went off and I blew through
And
it,
I blew right past it.
right through that stop sign, didn't you?
Excused it, came up with all kind of excuses for it. They don't mean it. That's not what it was. Well, they're just struggling. Well, if I just girl,
When people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
believe them the first time. That's good. That's good. Look at that. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on today. I have enjoyed our conversation. You have given me some things to think about and some things for me to, I think, really kind of incorporate and be like, okay, let me get a little better at this. Let me think about that. So this has been a blessing to me. So I appreciate you, and I know it's going to be a blessing to other people who have the opportunity to tune in and listen. And you have to come back. We're going to have to talk about some other stuff.
Too. And thank you so much. It's just so nice to be in your space and your vibe. And I appreciate it. And I hope, that first of all, I know that this conversation, it was light and fun for me,
Mhm.
which we have to keep life like that, right? If we
Girl,
keep
especially right
serious,
now.
yeah, it's like, come on, we can talk about hard things, we can do hard things, but we don't have to let them weigh us down. And so I
Absolutely.
appreciate you kind of making me pull things out. It's been a really nice time, and so I appreciate you allowing me to share my thoughts.
Yes. Yes, this is good. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some other things.
And look, you're smiling, we're laughing, we're talking about
We're
real
kicking
things,
it.
real like, that's real life. The things that we have talked about tonight, it are
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
friendships
Yeah.
are not easy.
They're not.
Navigating friendships as a woman, navigating, heterosexual platonic
All of it.
friendship,
All
all
of
of
it.
that stuff is hard. Life
Yeah.
is hard,
Yeah.
things are hard, but
And
it's worth it.
relationships are hard. Yeah.
Relationships are hard. So you choose the ones you want. You choose the ones, like you said, that are worth the investment. You pour into it because I do
Mhm.
believe what you put in is what you get out. So we can't, forget about that. If you're not a good friend, then you can't expect to have good friends. And
Girl,
it means you got to take a look at the mirror too and like, hey,
that part. That part. That part. I think that's really, and I'm glad that you brought that up, and that's a good like period point, is to say that people need to be evaluating who they are and how they are showing up, because it's always the other person. The other person was a terrible friend. The other person this that. But what about you? Like, what about you?
What did you have to do with it?
What did
Tell
you
me
have to
about
do
your
with
part.
it?
Tell me your part.
Think about it, because you have a part. Everybody has a part. Everybody. So it wasn't me, it was them. It was y'all. Everybody has a part. So
But I think
I think
okay,
that's
and I
good.
know we're wrapping up, but
No,
I
tell me. Say it.
think this is where I've landed with that.
Okay.
When you hear people expressing why things didn't work,
Mhm.
I think it's important to analyze what their part was it. Did they share that with you?
Girl,
Because we know that it's not just one-sided. And
you
so
said something there.
this is what I am doing for me. Now when people are like, "Oh, this person did this or this person did that," I'm gonna wait until you say, "Well, what did you do?" Right?
That
And then if I say, "Well, what did what was your part or why would they say something like that?" Right? I don't know. They just crazy or I don't Okay, guess what that tells me? Ding dong, those are the
girl,
stop signs we're not blowing through.
you are so correct, Tonya. Look, and that's not just with friendships, that's relationships too. When somebody tells you about, oh, the person that they was dating or married to or whatever was the worst person on the planet, and then you go, well, what about what you did? Oh no, I was perfect. I was a perfect spouse. I was a perfect boyfriend, perfect girlfriend, perfect whatever. And be like, you are so unaware. You lack accountability. You are like absolutely ridiculous. Like, get away from me. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Like,
It's a no for
no,
me.
it's a no for me. Cause you did something. You didn't take the trash out. You didn't do something. Something.
Something.
Right.
So I think when we start really analyzing what people are presenting to us, and again, I'm not seeing you as who I want you to be, but
Mm-hmm.
as who you are, who you're
Yeah.
presenting, and
Right.
how you're presenting, then I can make a more informed decision if I even want to engage with you, whether that's relationship, friendship, job,
All of that.
employer, employee. It doesn't matter. Like, do I want to engage with this? Do I want
Right.
so and that's gonna slim the pool down.
Real small. Listen,
Okay.
you like
So
it. You like. Listen, stay in it and be wet if you want to. I'm gonna be over here when you
I'll be
decide to
over
get dry.
here sun tanning.
Thank you for that. Thank you for this. Y'all, I hope that you were blessed by this. I hope that this conversation made you think about some things. I hope it makes you go back and analyze and think about your friendships, because that is truly important. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with anybody. It doesn't mean that anyone's done anything wrong. We should always be taking inventory of the relationships in our lives, and do they still continue to serve us? And it doesn't mean that you're cutting people off. Sometimes it may just mean that there needs to be adjustments that are made on your part, their part, whatever the circumstances, and so that everybody continues to benefit and to grow. So have an amazing week. Thank you. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye bye.